That's what Daddy likes. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Dude's Journey podcast. I'm your host, Reverend Phillip. And, oh man, did I need that. Have a smoke, have a drink, and join me here on this fine, fine time as the summer begins in this hot summer. I live in the South, man. It's just freaking humidity like hell. Anyway, welcome. I'd like to start off by reminding people that Dudism is more of a philosophy than a religion. It is considered modern-day Taoism, which is the art of peace. As there is an art of war, so there is an art of peace. That's what we try to do here with Dudism. And if you haven't heard the past episodes, I started this podcast because Dudism helped me. I lost my little brother in 2020, and then I lost my wife to cancer in 22. So yeah, me and grief have been friends, and it's been hell. And if you ask me how I'm doing, I'm going to say terrible as always, because that's where I'm at in my life here. Before I get into tonight's sermon, holy shit, you ain't not going to believe the fucking stories I got for you. Oh, pull up a chair and make some tea, ladies, because, girl, some crazy shit happened to me over the past 2 weeks. Oh, all right, hold on. Daddy needs a smoke. Okay, so before I lost my wife, she made me promise that I would try to love again. So I put myself out into the dating world last year, and that has probably been the biggest fucking mistake I have ever made. Oh, dating in your 40s is shit. So I've run into quite a bit of issues here and there, and if you heard the last episode, I had this gal that I asked out, and she said, let's go to brunch, and I said, cool, when? And then she kind of brushed me off with the, I'm real busy, but I'll let you know when I'm available bullshit. Lucky me, right? Which is, for those of you that don't know, if someone says that to you, they're basically telling you to fuck off in a nice way. So I saw brunch again, didn't make mention of it, didn't say anything, and just kind of left it. And honestly, I don't think brunch even remembers, because homegirl is just all over the place. So anyway, I'm going to Texas Frightmare Weekend. It's a horror convention. It's 3 days. I get a hotel room. I take time off. I go out and I just, I have fun, right? Because as a single parent, these are one of the few times that you get where you can just go out and, have fun and not have to worry about your kids and this and that and da-da-da. You take advantage of these times. Now I had this lady friend. Let's call her Vampira. So Vampira was telling me how she's going to dress up like a vampire, and that on Friday there's these after parties at the convention, and one of them is an 80s themed prom. So she was going to go as a vampire from this 80s movie, and I was going to be dressed up like a Ghostbuster because I was there for this Ghostbuster cosplay group that I'm with. So she was like, well, that's great. Hey, she was like, I was like, are you looking for a hot date or something? And she was like, well, maybe you're a potential victim. And I said, well, if you need a fake boyfriend or something, I can take it. And she was like, cool, right? That's okay. Yeah. And so we're talking back and forth, little flirty text and shit, but I know we're just friends, right? So Friday night rolls around, and I'm already there at the place. I can't find her. And finally, I'm texting her, and I finally meet her out. She's there with her sister, and they're buying drinks. And so I buy the drinks to be a gentleman, and I'm trying to escort her in, right, with her sister. But then she's like, oh, I got some friends, so we get my friends and go in. I'm like, okay, cool. So we go to meet her friends. It's 3 middle-aged dudes. And I'm like, okay, am I suitor number 4? What the fuck is this shit, right? Because these guys are not with her sister, they're with her. And these guys are just hanging all over her, following around, and I'm just like, oh, fucking shit, this is weird. So I end up being the odd one out because I don't know everybody. And homegirl probably says 2 sentences to me, but these guys are just all over, putting their arms around her and shit and all this stuff, and I'm just like, okay, all right. This is not what I thought it was at all, because usually when you escort someone to a prom type thing, you're the date and you're helping out and dancing with her and da-da-da-da-da. That was not the case, dude. So I was like, oh, okay, so this is not my party here. I went and checked on a buddy of mine who was drinking and flirting with some gal. He was doing all right. I used the bathroom. I go back to where this party is, and she and the group are gone. Vampire and the group have disappeared. And I'm like, oh, fuck, they ditched me. This is so nice. I pay to get into this prom. I pay for drinks just so I can dance by myself. How wonderful. So I'm like, fuck this shit. So I go back to my hotel room. I take a shower. And then homegirl texts me. She's like, where are you? And I'm like, bitch, you just now noticed? I was like, I lost y'all. Back to my room, took a shower. And I was like, you have a great weekend, girl. All right, I'll talk to you later. You have a good weekend. Now, she still kind of like texted, hit me up, and I'm just like, well, I'm going to be at the Ghostbuster table. That's where I'm going to be all day. And then Saturday morning, before I go to the con, guess who fucking hits me up? It's brunch. Yeah, fucking brunch again. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me, girl. So she's hitting me up, asking me to, guess what? Meet her for brunch. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Now, she's coming to the con, so I was like, oh, okay, so I guess I'll see you there. And then she asks, do you have an extra pass? So I'm like, oh, there it is. That's why she's contacting me. She wants a free fucking ticket. And I'm like, no, I don't have an extra pass. I just bought my one. The Ghostbusters group, they only got 6 passes. So I already bought mine. I bought a weekend pass like last year. So no, I don't have an extra one. She goes, oh, that's fair. That's cool. But hey, let's still meet up for brunch. And I'm like, sure. I'm like, fool me once, bitch. I ain't falling for this shit again. But I'm like, whatever. And then sure enough, she says hi. She comes in, meets me, sees where I'm at. And then my buddy, he meets up, and I was like, oh, he's like, hey, you want to go to lunch? I was like, yeah, or brunch or whatever. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. So we go across the way, and because I'm thinking homegirl probably ditched me again, probably doesn't even remember. But brunch was like, where are you? And I was like, I'm over here across the street having brunch. So she comes over, she meets with me and my buddy. We sit there and we talk, and sure enough, we have like a pretty good time. But I'm sitting here wondering, I'm like, why, homegirl has not hit me up. I mean, she kind of gave me the fucking brush off. And now we're over to having lunch, and we're all talking, having a good time. I'm talking with my buddy about how terrible my love life is, and and then she starts talking, and I start to realize that basically the whole brunch we were supposed to have was like I was in the friend zone. I was already in the friend zone, right? So even the brunch was probably going to be a friend zone thing. And the more I talked to her, the more I realized that she just doesn't fucking remember. She's married to her job, and so she's working all kinds of crazy hours. And the reason she wanted to meet up was because that, not because like she felt bad or something. No, she totally fucking forgot that she basically blew me off. She had a business proposition for me. I'm like, girl, I am not selling anything you're fucking buying. I learned my goddamn lesson. Like, can you believe that fucking shit? Oh, man. And I know, like I said, I talked to some other friends. They're like, look, man, her memory's really, really bad. If she blows you off or forgets, it's because she doesn't, remember. Don't take it personal. But I'm just like, well, fuck this shit. So I'm like, no, I'm not in, I don't need your services. Thank you. Right? And then later, we're still chatting. I go back to the Ghostbusters booth for a bit. Then we go to dinner. And then we go hit the karaoke that they've got, the after party. And, oh, man, I mean, usually these are fun, and I understand not everyone's a great singer, but some bitch had to play that Four Non-Blondes What's Up song, and I fucking hate that song to death, so we heard that, and we're like, that's our cue, we're fucking leaving. Like, because I was fucking done with that shit. I was like, no, I'm sorry. I ain't listening to that crap. And it's not like I had a hot date or anything. So Sunday comes in, I work the Ghostbuster booth with them all day Sunday, joke around with folks, help sell things and everything else, and, just have some fun. Now, the next weekend is Fan Expo, and I do not want to go to Fan Expo. But a friend of mine needed an autograph, so I was like, okay, I'll go, I'll go for you. And the Ghostbusters were there, so I said, okay, I'll go and help the Ghostbusters. So I buy a Sunday pass only, because here's the thing, I hate Fan Expo. I used to sell comics at the conventions around Dallas-Fort Worth, And then Fan Expo came in and they priced us all out, all us little guys. They priced us out, and when we did buy a table, they shoved us in the back. Like, it was fucking impossible, man, to sell anything. Read on my past ones, check my past ones, you'll find out. But the reason I go to these Fan Expos is because the way I figure it, because Fan Expo fucked me over so many times. I'm like, these fuckers owe me about $1,000, right? So whenever I go to a Fan Expo, I try to steal as much from the merch tables as I possibly can. Those of you that don't know, these merch tables are exclusives that they're selling just at that convention. So you have to go to the convention to get these collectibles. And there's comics and Funko Pops and hats and magnets and all types of shit. So I go over there and I'll fucking swipe whatever I can, usually comic books, and slyly sort of do it. And I've worked my way up. I'm slowly getting my money back, because then I'll take the comics, turn around and sell them at cons or at on eBay. And so, but I buy some too. But I'm just saying, I'm stealing from these fuckers, because I'm like, fuck you, Fan Expo. You guys have fucked me over. I was supposed to get a free table. They didn't do it. I was supposed to get like this better seating. They shoved me in a corner. It was like I made no money. I spent so much money. I can't even tell you how much money I've lost trying to do the Fan Expo conventions as an indie artist. So yeah, I just started stealing from them. I was like, fuck you guys. But the thing is that this year, holy fuck, they were just dumb. I mean, like, usually I had to like kind of like sneakily, slyly like put the comics in my bag and like not have them notice. But these motherfuckers, I picked the shit up and just threw it right in the bag, and these motherfuckers didn't notice shit. They're either talking to someone or talking to each other or looking at their fucking phones. If you go to any fucking of these Fan Expos and go to the merch tables, I guarantee you'll probably be able to steal so much shit, and they will never fucking know. It is the craziest fucking thing I ever saw. So yeah, I got at least $400 worth of fucking comics. Don't get me wrong, I bought some, you know, but I'm just saying, they fucking owe me, and I'm going to get my goddamn money back. And I think we about even now, so maybe I'm good. All right. But yeah, I hate Fan Expo for that fucking reason. But here's the thing. I'm going to Fan Expo, and on Friday, I get hit up by guess who? Brunch. Yeah. And she's like, hey, are you going to be at Fan Expo? I said, I'm going to be there on Sunday. And she said, hey, let's get lunch or brunch again. Let's get brunch. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, you know, it opens at 11 or 10 or something, so I'll be there. And here's the thing, man, with these cons. The worst part about dealing with Fan Expo is that, like, you have to seriously get there early, because they only have a one-level parking garage. That's it. All the other parking is outside of the convention center, and so you got to park like a block away and pay like, you know, $20-25 or whatever it is. So what I did is I said, I'm going to get there at like 6 a.m. in the morning, and I'm just going to sleep in my truck. And then go in at like 9 o'clock and get in. And so that's what I did. Went in there, got my pass, got inside. And instead of wearing the full Ghostbusters costume, because I did that during Frightmare, and I was just sweating my ass off all, you know, because they had me outside to get my tickets. It took like an hour, and I was out in a hot garage. It was, oh, God, I hate the humidity out here. So this time I just kind of wore a tie and a lab coat, you know, did the old Ghostbusters 84 kind of feel. And I just wore that and hung out with the team. And now with the team, I came, and I always bring stuff. I bring Twinkies and Crunch Bars and donuts and snacks and stuff and drinks for people. I'll bring stuff, you know, to kind of help out, because we're all standing there all day long and you're hungry and you got to have high energy and talk to people and engage. And so it can be kind of draining. And plus people have kids, so I bring this stuff in. Now, the thing is, I also bring in like CBD products and stuff I buy in Texas. All right. It's nothing like out the border. I'm buying it within Texas. And so a lot of the members, you know, they got like, you know, bad back, bad legs, inflammation, muscle spasms and shit. So I always offer the CBD stuff I have, you know. I'm like, and I always say, hey, you want some free drugs? You know, as a joke, right? You want some free drugs, man? Because Texas is so backwards on fucking cannabis and shit. So I go in there and I'm joking around and talking to them and offering, and most of them, you know, they say no. Some say yes, because, you know, they do need the help, but most of them say no. And I'm like, all right, cool. But this time, like, okay, so at Frightmare, some of us at the booth, we were drinking, right? Because this is our weekend and they're serving hard liquor up front, because Texas Frightmare is more for adults. It's not really for kids. It's not the family show that Fan Expo is. So there were some complaints about us, offering the free drugs and drinking and stuff. And so they asked that we don't do that. And I was like, okay, fine. But, someone had mentioned or brought up something. And so I offered. It's just kind of secondary. Well, someone went and told teacher and went to the head of the president of the club and complained again. And so they made this big statement on fucking the Facebook, group that we're a part of. And so I just left the group. I'm like, I'm just taking a step back kind of a thing. In school, I was the kid who always got put in the hall for saying stuff that wasn't appropriate. So I'm like, okay, all right, look, man, I made some jokes and shit, and I wasn't forcing anything on anyone. And, to me, because the president reached out. He's like, I saw you left the group. I don't want you to feel singled out or anything. I've just had several complaints about this. And I'm like, hey, dude, I get it. But the thing is that why didn't they talk to me like an adult? Why'd they run and tell teacher? Like, you don't need to deal with this shit. I mean, I've had members of the group say shit to me that's inappropriate, but I just pull them aside and talk to them. I didn't run off and tell people and cause a bunch of drama and do this high school bullshit. So, yeah, I'm just taking a step back, man. I'm just putting myself in the hall like in school. I'm just taking a step back, And he said he still wants me in the group, which is cool. I'm like, you've always been a stand-up guy. I get that. It's just I'm going to take a step back, man, because it's like, I always joke about drugs and alcohol and shit to kind of break the ice and break stereotypes. And, that's my comedy. And obviously not everyone thinks I'm funny. I get that. So, but I just thought that was, I don't know, it was kind of childish. I'm just like, you got a problem with me. I'm an adult. Come fucking talk to me. Come talk to my face. Don't go behind my back and tell someone else to tell me. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Thought I was more approachable than that. I mean, these people had no problem taking the free food and the free Twinkies and all the processed sugar, which kills more people than cannabis every fucking year. They had no problem with that, but I make a joke about free drugs, and suddenly they're all getting their panties in a twist. And I'm like, these fucking straight edge bitches, man. I've always hated straight edge bitches because you can't be friends with them. They're like cult people. You have to be straight edge or they can't be friends with you. I mean, these fuckers can go over here and talk about, the law or politics or fucking Jesus and religion, but God forbid I offer them some CBD shit for their fucking foot pain. Like, fuck you guys, man. Some bullshit. So yeah, I'm taking a step back because I'm trying not to be pissed off, because I was fucking ready to lay out some people. I'm like, fuck you, you bitches. Fuck you. I'm trying to stay calm, trying to keep my inner Walter at bay and keep my inner dude present in front and attention, man. Ugh. And I always have to record late at night, which fucking sucks, because here's the thing. I would love to record this during the day, but my kids are home from school, and during the day, I got my in-laws that live with me, and my father-in-law is always doing something with the yard or a mower or some shit, so there's always a noise outside every fucking day. And so I'm like, okay, I got to work late, and I'm thinking, okay, well, everyone will go to bed at like 10 a.m., right? Nope. Everybody's awake. Isn't that great? Lucky me. And then the Wi-Fi goes out. And then everyone's coming up to me and like, Phil, what's wrong with the Wi-Fi? I'm like, well, there is an electrical storm outside, so that probably is part of the reason. And I'm like, look, just it's just going to take some time. Just wait for it to pass. Or, put on some physical media. Okay, that's what I do. All right? That's what I do. Oh, man. But yeah, I swear, man, dealing with these women and this shit, I'm just like, I'm done with dating. Fuck it. I'll die alone. Fuck it. Fuck it. I made a promise I'd give it a try. I gave it a try. I'm done. I'm done with this shit. Because a lot of the women that I'll meet, it's really sad that it's the truth. They fall into one of three categories. They're either married to their job, they're fucking crazy, or they just got out of a relationship where something bad happens and you can't go near them for a few years. I'm like, that's literally what I'm dealing with everywhere I go. Not to mention, it's like, I was married for years and and I'm a dad. And so like, yeah, I dress relaxing. I'm not dressing up to impress anybody. And My buddy's like, well, that's why you're not getting a date. And of course, he just fucking got a date again, Mr. Sexy Pirate. Because that's the thing. He dresses like a sexy pirate. Who doesn't want to fuck a sexy pirate? I totally fucking get that shit. I want to fuck a sexy pirate. I get it. But the thing I'm just like, I am not, no woman is approaching me. None are talking to me. Nothing. Fucking nothing. Not even so much as a fucking text message. And I'll reach out to them. I'll text to them and, try and get a dialogue going or something. And, hey, maybe we can meet up sometime. But they don't want to, man. They're all running their own kingdoms, living their own lives. I can't be mad at them. I'm doing the same. I mean, hey, just because I, even meet someone new, does that fucking mean that all the pain's gonna go away? Nope. Yeah. C'est la vie. So yeah, man, I'm like the last couple weekends, man, with the lady, it was just freaking crazy. And what I thought was crazy was just like, there was even a third woman. Yeah, there was a third who was hitting me up talking to me. And she was a woman I asked out. I gave her my number, but she totally like ghosted me and then just like there's a con. And so she's like, oh, hey, are you here? And I'm like, yeah. I'm surprised you even wanted to talk. She's like, yeah, I'm here with my buddy. And we can meet up. And I'm like, your buddy? And of course, the buddy's a guy, right? Who follows her around like a fucking puppy dog. And I'm just like, so is this your boyfriend? Oh, no, he's my friend. Okay, did you tell him that? Because I don't think motherfucker knows from the look in his eyes. Sorry, I'm just saying. That's just me. Oh. So, yeah, it's like I am. The ladies are not coming my way, and so I'm just gonna take the hint, as I am the lone guy standing by myself at the prom, I'm like, I'm just gonna go home. At least there I can masturbate in peace. All right, so let's go ahead and get into tonight's sermon. Tonight we're talking about procrastination. And not just about procrastination, but how to stop it. Because all of us kind of procrastinate in some way, especially since we're all addicted to our fucking phones now. But this is something that I know I have to work on because I do procrastinate and I can be terrible at it. Like my novel, I'm working on my current novel. I should have had it done last month and I am still behind schedule. I mean, I technically it should have been more like 2 months. But I'm behind. I got to get caught up, So I'm trying to think of ways like what can I do? What techniques can I do to kind of help? With this, because it's just been kind of crazy. Like I said, I was trying the stand-up thing, and that didn't work out as great. And then the cons came up and all this stuff. Like I was supposed to post at least 2 episodes a month, and I still haven't even stuck with that, man. It has been that kind of a crazy ride. So I'm like, how can I stop procrastination? What can I do to kind of deal with this particular problem? Because, it's we're always supposed to be, it's just in us to do things, to build, to create, it's just inherent in us. And so to not do it is almost like to go against nature, man. So I'm trying to get my things done and trying to get stuff set. So I was like, let's define procrastination for a second. So procrastination is putting off tasks and responsibilities that can lead to negative consequences, or maybe that's just how the universe wanted it to unfold. Sometimes you got to take it easy and figure it out, Like, for instance, the novel I'm working on right now, I wrote the idea back in 2005. Why did it take 20 years? Well, because at the time I wasn't a good enough writer to write the story. Now I am. I'm better now. After writing a few novels, getting some stuff under my belt, and writing a dozen freaking screenplays, yeah, I feel more confident now that I can actually tackle this story in the way that I want it to be done. It's kind of like when you're painting. It's like, okay, I want to paint this beautiful painting over here, but I'm barely doing, paint by numbers, right? So took some time, so I got there. So I said, okay, modern science, since I'm dealing with this procrastination problem here, and it especially pops up when I'm playing a video game. Jesus Christ. These video games are too long, man. I mean, they're taking like 48 hours and shit. I'm like, fuck, that's a job. But the first step that scientists and psychologists recommend when it comes to procrastination is the 2-minute rule. This is the first thing. It's called the 2-minute rule. If it takes 2 minutes, then just do it now, right? It'll clear your mind for more important tasks. All right. So it's like, do the small thing first. Do the little things first. If it's going to be quick, get it done. Like vacuum your room or something, okay? Just do the quick one, get it done. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you got to clean your whole room. Okay, well, we're going to start vacuuming first and then dusting and then polishing or whatever the case is. 2-minute rule. So that's the first thing you got to think. 2 minutes. If it takes 2 minutes, do it now, get it done, finished, right? Second thing that helps with fight and stop procrastination is that you visualize how you're going to feel in the future when you stay focused and sharp and you get your work done, okay? So, like, for instance, when I get this novel done, I know I'm going to feel good. I know I'm going to feel accomplished. I'm going to be like, yes, I did it. I finished the novel. I finished the book. I mean, this is something that people just talk about. They don't actually do, and so it's this accomplishment for you. And then, of course, I put it out there and I don't sell any copies, and then I get super depressed and have to write another book. But, the point is that you feel good. You feel good in that moment when it's done. You know what I mean? Just in that singular moment, just put that in your little brain and help it move you forward. Which then goes on to point number 3, which is, and this is going to be a tough one. Okay, so y'all ready for this? I'm going to take a drink here. Just hold on. So, the third suggestion and step by modern psychologists to help you stop procrastination is to put your phone in another room. I know. You're freaking out. Just breathe with me. Just breathe. We're breathing. Okay. It's going to be okay. But here's the thing. Your phone's a distraction. Okay. It's got too much shit in it. Okay. It's not just a phone. All right. It's a fucking computer. It's a pocket PC. That's what all smartphones are. Even if you have a fucking Apple, it's still a PC. PC means personal computer. Okay. Apple makes personal computers. It's a fucking PC. They're all PCs. Okay. It's all personal computers. Apple just likes to think they're different because they use Swift as their programming language instead of C or C++ or what the fuck ever. Fucking Apple and their goddamn snooty shit. But that's a whole other thing. The point is, your phone isn't just a phone. It's an arcade. It's your email system. It's an instant messenger. It's a video device. It's a music jukebox. It's everything. And it can distract you from what you're doing, so put it in another room. Treat it like an actual phone. I do this. I tell this with people. Take some time and just treat it like an actual phone. Put it on the charger and don't touch it unless it rings like an actual phone. And none of us want to get phone calls. So, if anyone is calling, it's probably a spam thing. So, just put it in the other room. Put it away. Best thing you can do. So yeah, put your phone in another room. It'll help. Okay? All right. The fourth step in to help you stop procrastination is to break things down. Step number 4. Now, this is something that quite a number of people, I've even heard programmers talk about this whenever they're working on a new application or software, and they've got a group of programmers. Well, it's like, let's build a game. That could be a bit, that's a lot. Build a video game. It's like, holy shit, that's a lot of work to do. But if you break it down into these little tasks, it helps the programmers to get it done faster. So it's like, let's not think about the whole game. Let's think about, hey, I need a sound. I need a sound of like a crashing noise, or I need a sound of a ray gun, or I need a sound of like when the character dies, like doo doo doo, And so the sounds, that's a little thing. That's something easy that we can do. And they put it together and they make it like, okay, now we got the sounds. Okay, now I need to have a character to illustrate. We have to have a character, a sprite, got to make the sprite here, got to make our avatar here for the player. And then they work on that. And then you take all those elements, those little tasks, those little things that you broke it all down, and then you put it together. boom, you've got your game, you got your app, you got your software, you have your project. It's done. Learn to break things down. It's going to help you, okay? Not just with stopping procrastination, but helping you to get things done. It's very important. Now it goes on to the 5th suggestion on how to stop procrastination, which is the 5-second rule. Of course, it's the 5th step because it's 5 seconds. All right. Now, we had the 2-minute rule, which is at number 1 for some reason, but number 5, the 5-second rule means give yourself 5 seconds when you catch yourself procrastinating or stopping, okay? So let's say you're working on something and then you went and checked your phone and now you've been on your phone for 15 fucking minutes, okay? Stop, put the phone down, give yourself 5 seconds, just breathe for 5 seconds and then realize, okay, I don't need to be looking at, chili recipes. I need to be getting my work done. And then you can turn around and get yourself back onto it, okay? Or sometimes you're working on a project and you just kind of stop and you start daydreaming or something or looking at something else. Stop. Just give yourself 5 seconds and then get back on track, okay? Just a 5-second rule, okay? I think that's, it's good. Just take a breather. Usually I just take a deep breath, close my eyes, and try to refocus and like, okay, why am I doing this? What am I doing? Get this done. Let's work. Now, the 6th step is a little bit kind of complicated, but it's called the Eisenhower Matrix. So let me try and explain this about how this helps with stopping procrastination. So what it does is the Eisenhower Matrix kind of breaks things down. So they're like, okay, take a look at what you have to do. And if it's urgent, do it now. Okay? If it's not urgent, then schedule it. Or even delegate it. Or even eliminate it if necessary. Okay? So like I was talking about with the programmers building a video game, okay? So what is something urgent that we need done now? Okay, well, we need, the first level. Okay, so we got to get the first level program set and done. We got to get the platforms on there, and we got to get this. So that's urgent. We got to get this done now because we've got to show a sample to the boss, and he wants to see our progress, so we have to get this done. So this is urgent. We got to build the first level. What's not urgent is building level 10. That's not urgent right now. That we can schedule or delegate, or who knows, we might not even build level 10. We might have to redo it or rephrase it or what have you. The point is, the urgent thing comes first. The stuff that's got a deadline, the stuff that's due and has to be done right away, get that done first, okay? Making dinner. You got to make the fucking dinner, okay? You don't have to make dessert right now, or you don't have to make breakfast. You can schedule that later and figure it out later, even delegate it. But the urgent thing is, we got to make dinner right now. It's past 5. Kids are hungry, and they're fucking screaming and yelling at me. Or they're just whining and bothering you. Whatever the case is. So that is the Eisenhower Matrix. That's an interesting one. Enjoying my hemp cigarettes. All right, so there's two more steps here that can help you to stop procrastination. So let's look at number 7, because Eisenhower Matrix was number 6. So let's look at number 7. And this is called Eat the Frog. Okay. Just don't worry, okay? We're not talking about licking some psychedelic frogs here. No. What we're talking about here is what it means to eat the frog is to do the most difficult thing first, as that can build momentum. Now, this might sound a little bit backwards to what I've been talking about, but this is actually something that helps people, whereas I say do the easy thing first, do the little thing first, build it up, progress. What they're saying is that sometimes you just got to do the most difficult thing first, and it can kind of get you rolling. Now, in some cases, like I said, I can go back to the example of the programmers, but what might be the most difficult thing for them is just to get started. Because a lot of projects die before they even begin because people evaluate. How much time is this going to take? Are we going to make any money? Is it going to be worth anything? So honestly, sometimes the biggest and most difficult thing is to just start, and then that builds momentum from there. And so that's definitely something there to think about. I know right now I'm trying to work with some friends. I have all these film and video friends, and they're talking about wanting to do a YouTube show, and so I've been holding off on it, but now I went ahead and say, all right, dude, let's just fucking do it. And so I've been sending the scripts to the guys. They all love it. Everybody's on board. So that was me eating the frog, because that was the most difficult thing, was to say yes, because man, I've done film in the past and I got burnt, didn't make any money, no YouTube fans, like nothing. So I wrote a freaking comic book called Don't Make a Movie. Well, we're not doing a movie. It's a YouTube show. It's a series. It's like a bunch of short films put together, so it's different. But anyway, so eating the frog for me was just starting, and sure enough, momentum's built, and more people are interested, and it's moving along. It's gonna happen. I'm doing some test shoots tomorrow night with a buddy of mine at the location we're gonna shoot at, and we're gonna start working. So yeah, eating the frog, man, eating the frog. Now, this last step, this last suggestion, number 8 on stopping procrastination, I think is the most important. And this one's going to be a fucking tough one, because it's tough for me, so it's going to be tough for you. Let's work this out. But let's do this, okay? Number 8 is stop worrying about perfection. This fucking kills more talent than anything else in the fucking world. Call it imposter syndrome, call it self-criticism, call it whatever the fuck you want. But is literally, so many people don't do it because they're afraid people are just going to hate it and it's going to look like shit and everyone's going to say stuff. And I understand that, because I made a comic book, a zombie comic book, and the artist I had bailed on me, and I had to draw it myself, and I wasn't a very good artist, and so the artwork wasn't great. And then, I put the comic book out there, and while I've gotten support from fans and they like the story, the critics fucking bashed it, man. I'm like 1 out of 5 stars. They fucking were like, this comic book is shit. Like, the artwork is shit, and yeah, your story is somewhat interesting, but because I didn't put a bunch of dialogue stuff, because it was more like a film than it was a comic book, which a comic book gives you a bunch of like juxtaposition and a bunch of like dialogue and narration on top of the scenes. I don't do that. I do just the characters and the scenes. I don't add a lot of that. Maybe in the beginning of the story to help set up, but not. So perfectionism is something that kills a lot of things. Even now, as I'm writing this novel, or even doing this YouTube show, I'm just so worried about, is this going to be shit? We need to do this. But I quit worrying. I said, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to put it out there, because I've seen this shit on YouTube. It's fucking terrible. These goddamn, I don't know if you've seen these fucking channels, man, with these like gamers and shit. All they do is scream. They just yell and scream the whole fucking time. That's all they do. Oh my God, I'm up here. Oh my God, oh my God, this is amazing. That's all they fucking do. It's like listening to a terrible AM DJ. It's fucking horrible. It's not funny. It's just loud. And that's what they think is loud. But it's like, look, man, these guys did not give a shit about perfection, all right? They just started. They figured it out as they go. And the mistakes they made were just a sign of their progress. And so that's the way I'm doing it now. I'm like, I'm going to write books. I'm going to do a YouTube show. I'm going to do stand-up. I'm going to do all the shit that I was always been afraid to do, because I was afraid I wasn't going to be good enough, or that it was going to suck, or just wasn't right, and da-da-da. And that's the one thing I hate about the set I did, the first stand-up set I did. I kept doing jokes where it was like I was kind of forcing it, like forcing to laugh instead of let it naturally flow, because I was trying to do this, right and everything, da-da-da. And I didn't read the room and the crowd. And if I would have gone with the crowd, I would have done a completely different set. But because I was part of this, like, class, they were like, you have to do the set that I saw, because I don't want you coming up here and saying a bunch of horrible things or doing a bunch of jokes that's going to get the management pissed and get them pissed at me and da-da-da-da-da. So I was like, I get it. So, but I want to go back, and the whole thing is like, I'm just going to go back and I'm just going to do it and just not give a shit. Fuck it. Let's let go, man. Let's throw caution to the wind and just make it fucking happen, because I just got done watching that Cheech and Chong last movie, and that's all they fucking did. It's like they just did improv. They went up there, did a bunch of goofy shit that just off the top of their head, and it fucking worked. They became fucking millionaires. It's fucking insane. So, giving it a shot, boss. Give it a shot. Stop worrying about perfection. Just fucking do it, man. So why don't we go ahead, let's take 5 minutes, man. Let's take 5 minutes on the clock to think about this, to think about how these steps to stop procrastination, these practices that we could use, this advice to help us kind of get kick-started and doing our own thing, man. because that's what you got to do, man. You just got to get out there and just fucking do it. Little things at first, get the thing started, which is the big thing, and just get up and go. All right, let's go ahead and we'll start that 5 minutes here. Let me look at the clock, and we'll start that 5 minutes right now. All right, we're back. Well, I hope that this little bit of the sermon here could help you out here today, and I'm sure you certainly learned a lot about my love life. I just think it's crazy, man. It's like I had one weekend where I had 3 women who ghosted me, basically hit me up to want to hang out, but just like, just for attention, I guess. That's who I'm attracted, man. The women who just want some attention, and that's it. And then once they got it, off and running. But I tell you right now, I'm gonna be using these steps, man, to help myself stop my procrastination and just go and do what I do and have fun while I'm doing it. Because, hey, man, fuck it. What do I got to lose? Thank you all for listening, man. I want you to go out there in this crazy world, and when you do, I want you to take it easy. Because when you take it easy, the dude abides. Thank you all for listening. I am Reverend Phillip with the Dude This Uni Podcast. See you next time.
From author Reverend Phillip K. comes your next must-read book, Nicholas of Myra, a novel available on Amazon. In Nicholas of Myra, a novel, immerse yourself in the life of the man we all know as Santa Claus. From the loss of his parents to being raised on a farm by his uncle, Nicholas's early life was marked by challenges. His journey led him to the Christian temple in Myra, where he became bishop in a time when Christianity was forbidden in the Roman Empire. Experience Nicholas's profound strength as he faces arrest, persecution, and the unimaginable loss of his loved ones. Despite being tortured and imprisoned, his unshakable faith and his message of love, compassion, and generosity shine as a beacon through the darkness. Nicholas of Myra, a novel, is a journey through history, revealing the roots of Christmas and its traditions. It's a story of faith that endures against all odds. Available in Kindle, paperback, and Kindle Unlimited. Nicholas of Myra, a novel from author Reverend Phillip K. Order your copy right now and discover the story of a lifetime.